All right.
Matt, make sure you get close, though. You gotta make sure.
Tell me when you start recording.
I did. Let's do it.
Sherman and Wilbourn podcast. This is the week 10, week 11, week 10.
Do you not know when the...
No, I don't remember. It's week 10. It is the week 10 podcast. We're back on the air. Today's date is November 8th, 2012.
It is indeed. That is the date I just checked.
We already have a final score alert. The Jaguars lost to the Colts.
In a big shocker.
Yeah, it was a very big shocker.
I bet 1,000 on the Jags.
No, you don't even have $1,000 to bet.
Hey, man. You don't know that.
Needless to say, Andrew Luck rushed for 2 touchdowns tonight. Did not throw a touchdown pass. He rushed for 2. Which is an interesting statistic looking at. I don't know how many rushing touchdowns he has this year because I haven't been paying attention to him.
I think it's 4. I think it's...
He has, needless to say, he has more than Cam Newton and Michael Vick combined.
Yeah.
That is a shocker. Cam Newton rushed for 12, 13, 14
RG3's taking that. He's the only guy in the league really doing that.
Rushing yards so far.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Something in that range.
It's pretty fucked up, man.
Well, we didn't do a podcast last week because I had a special occasion to go to.
Yes, you did.
I went to my first ever Bears game. Needless to say, that was a great game to go to.
It's Tennessee, which is a little odd.
Not really. I got family down there.
It's not odd. It's odd that your first game was in Tennessee.
Yeah, it was LP Field. Nice place to go to a game. It was a nice experience. A lot of Bear fans there.
Good people.
Yeah, I mean they didn't have much to talk about. They were getting their ass kicked the whole game. There were some interesting fans
until Chris Johnson scampered one.
Yeah, well,
that good 80, which was that was pretty much a fantasy play.
That was a fantasy play. 141 yards
irrelevant.
Rushing, 80 of them were on that play against the second string defense.
He's good now. It was second string, but the Bears do have a good defense in general. I doubt they had all second stringers out at that point.
It was pretty close because I commented to my dad right before I play. They put the second stringers in.
Oh, really?
We looked down there.
Well,
we were sitting on the end zone.
How did he look live? How did Chris Johnson look?
He seemed like he's hesitant when he runs the ball.
He does. I mean, I watched the game on TV. He does seem that way. But I mean,
you can just tell like when he shifts around a lot. There was a couple plays, but the defense was all over him.
The play where he had the 80-yard touchdown,
he fumbled a lot too.
Anything special?
No, it was just a burn. It was just
but that's why I think he's still good because if it's just good blocking on one play and there's room, he'll take off.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed.
Because there was nothing special about the play, which actually seems to be a lot of Chris Johnson's long plays. He just runs and nobody touches him.
The Bears' offense was great. They kind of start out slow, but put up 52 points against a team that's defense is terrible. But it was 51. Irrelevant. It was 51-20, the final score.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was pissed off. I was watching that game.
It was 28-2 at the end of the first quarter. It should have been 28-0. Marcus Webb doesn't hold there. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Needless to say, the Bears put up 4 early touchdowns. A block punt.
Early ones?
Block punt. The Urlacher one, which I missed because I was in the bathroom during that one.
Oh, the pick six, yeah.
Yeah, I did miss the pick six. I saw it on TV like the rest of you. In the bathroom waiting.
You almost saw the history, the record
Devin Hester,
for Devin
yes,
Hester.
He came close. Brand Marshall threw a touchdown. And then Forte on a on that one, Forte rushed it, and that was a pretty cool run to see. Forte dogpile his way in there. He had a good
annoying
week.
To watch on TV.
He had some really good gainers. He's so shifty, man. Watching him, he just moves like it's he's jumping levels.
I've always thought for some reason
he's so big. Like in person, one thing I noticed is Matt Forte is for running back is fucking huge. It's insane how big he is. Just seeing him in person, it's even bigger.
I'm probably a homer about my opinion on him.
Big as a linebacker,
and
maybe not on weight, but height.
For some reason, for the last 2 years, I've always thought that Matt Forte was kind of a fluke. Which not really.
He's pretty damn good.
I've always thought that he was good, but he wasn't really great. But I don't know. I'm starting to think he is. I've just always thought he wasn't that fast or that anything. But he just seems to.
He doesn't.
He seems to get an open field, and then he makes these moves, and it's
just,
it
the
pisses
one against
me off.
The Buccaneers last year.
He does. Yeah,
that was impressive.
He's top 5 running back in the league. Skills wise, I think so. Maybe not stats right now, no. But I think skills wise, he's around there. Maybe not top 5. Maybe. There's good backs.
Well, we know for a fact we will hit on him later, but Brand Marshall is a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, and this year getting a quarterback to throw him the ball, getting reconnected. He can catch a lot. He goes up, he gets it.
He never had a bad season
4.5,
even without cover. When he had these retard quarterbacks like
Chad Henne,
and Bat Bohr.
He had Tebow for a minute.
Did he?
No, he didn't. You're right. He did not have Tebow.
No.
He didn't have Tebow. Tebow went to Denver after.
Yeah,
he had Matt
gone.
Moore. Matt Moore was one. Chad Henne was one.
Matt Moore's actually decent, weirdly.
Chad
Henne's decent
needless to say,
too.
They're not good though. And
no, they're not.
He had good
but
stats.
He's good regardless. And then you put him with Jay Cutler, who's a lot better than those guys, and it's clear. We'll talk about him a little bit later, though, right?
Right. And but needless to say, I had a good time down there. But we're making a podcast now. I'm back in Illinois.
Yeah.
We got some big games this weekend. One big matchup in particular interests me. Your team is on a bye. My team is playing a potential Super Bowl matchup, and I think it's safe to say we can say that.
Okay, yes, that's true.
I think they're
potential Super Bowl matchup is true.
There's also a big game in Philly between the Cowboys and the Eagles. We will talk Michael Vick. In fact,
we're going to talk Michael Vick?
No, we will start him, sit him. Who's our first quarterback we're going to hit on today? Wait. I got a rant to make on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers,
all right.
Your boy, was on 60 Minutes last Sunday, wasn't he?
Oh, God. Yeah, I watched that.
Now, he's first off, he's like 6'2", okay? That's not short, but he when he was in high school, he wasn't tall.
I'll admit,
for a quarterback.
Okay, keep going. Just keep going.
He had some guy tell him he was not as big in person, which first off is fucking stupid to say, because Aaron Rodgers was he's not a small guy.
No.
Maybe what do they expect him to be? Clay Matthews out there. First off, he's not on steroids. He's a quarterback. Secondly, he doesn't have blonde
Cheap
locks.
shot.
Yes, it is. What bothers me is that Aaron Rodgers has this double standard put on his head. Today he came out and complained that 60 Minutes kind of made him look bad.
Did he?
He kind of did.
I thought they made him look bad. I thought they did.
Not really.
They made him look like he was just complaining and shit. Kind of.
Well, he kind of was.
I didn't really like the way he looked on 60 Minutes. I mean, it didn't affect my opinion really of him. I just thought
they made him put him in. No, they didn't put him in situations.
What did he say? I actually didn't hear.
He just said, it kind of made me look like they were putting me in a bad spot. I can't read the exact quote. Go to the Deadspin.com article and look up Aaron Rodgers Deadspin. Google that right now. What bothers me is there's a double standard in Green Bay quarterbacks that I've noticed for a long time. When I was younger, I noticed Brett Favre was kind of a diva. I think I recognized that before a lot of people did. What I'm noticing is Aaron Rodgers is indeed a diva.
Aaron Rodgers feels he got screwed by 60 Minutes?
Yes.
Is this the exact quote right in the
No,
quote,
there's a little quote in the gray area.
Right here? Okay,
yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. All right, Aaron Rodgers said, apparently, when you open up your life for 4 months and allow them to, is this right quote?
Yeah.
And allow them to have access to your family and friends and events, it's always interesting to see what comes out, Rodgers said. I just felt like the editing of the piece could have been done in a way that was maybe a lot more respectful of myself.
Cry me a river.
Oh,
First
come
off,
on.
how is that not respectful? They acknowledged the fact that he was a great quarterback.
Well, what then? Yeah, but then...
What, that he's sensitive? Jeez, he is sensitive. Because if he wasn't sensitive, he wouldn't have complained about that. He wouldn't have said those quotes.
I believe he's sensitive. I'm a sensitive guy. It's okay to be sensitive.
No, it's fine to be sensitive, but at the same time, he's kind of denying the fact that he is.
I just think maybe there was more to the... Maybe there was more to his interviews with them,
or maybe if he played in a city bigger than 105,000 people, where the media was actually critical of him, which is, I've always said, Green Bay is an easy place to play. Everyone loves you. I mean, and they've said their negative things. Look what the people said about Donovan McNabb for years.
I think that the way it's in, I think the way it is in Green Bay is how it
idiots. First off,
the way it is in Green Bay is how it should be. People shouldn't just go insane and hate somebody after one game or just. But at the same time,
the media, there's a double standard there of quarterbacks, and one I noticed between Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler. There is a total double standard there. You cannot deny that.
Yeah, they talked about Jay Cutler's attitude, and then Rodgers kind of mouthed off to James Jones, but then Skip Bayless, of course, got on him about that, but that kind of faded away quickly in the media.
Yeah, of course.
Which it should have, but then again, Jay Cutler's thing should probably not have ever been the story either.
There's a reason why Jay Cutler is 13-1 in his last 14 games as a quarterback for the Bears. He's a good quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is better than him.
I don't like that stat.
Aaron Rodgers is better than Jay Cutler. I understand that, but that's not the point. The point is that he complains about being the spotlight. I almost feel like Aaron Rodgers doesn't like where he's at.
Was he Kurt Cobain?
He's acting like it.
Not that that's not sound like a shot at Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's my favorite person, so if I can draw a link between Aaron Rodgers, my second favorite person, to Kurt Cobain, then I would be.
Well, I just think personally
thing.
with all that, with the success that Aaron Rodgers is having, he has no right to complain how 60 Minutes made him look. They didn't make him look bad, in my opinion.
I don't think they made him look bad. I just think that
this wasn't a political ad. They weren't just taking out quotes that he said. He never. First off, I understand.
God damn it! Real quick, I'm on Deadspin. I watched Survivor, but I'm a little behind. And there's a little bit of a spoiler on the side.
I know Jeff Kent got eliminated from Deadspin. It's a pretty. I mean, not from Deadspin, Survivor. He was on Deadspin. I know people were pissed about that. I read the comments. Get off the website.
Pissing me off. I haven't watched that yet.
Jeff Kent's got a good beard. He used to always have the mustache.
I kind of like Jeff Kent on Survivor.
He's a racist in real life.
Is he?
Him and Barry Bonds used to go at it. That's beside the point, though. But I know you watch Survivor, but you got to catch up with that shit. You didn't see the whole episode.
A whole episode.
Yeah, man. Maybe you could see why he got eliminated. Maybe
I'll still watch it. I'll still watch it.
But we're getting off topic. We gotta hit some segments.
Very off topic.
Let's talk about some quarterback play right now.
There is another quote from Aaron Rodgers. Do you want to know that one?
No, I really don't care.
Hold on, let me.
You're gonna read it though. So.
All right. For them to not even really show any of the content from that night, any of the kids to not say anything about the fund, what they're doing for kids with cancer, I think was the thing that disappointed most disappointing about this piece. That sounds a little more legitimate.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. I believe that he works with kids who have cancer and he does charities. I'm not saying he's a terrible person.
He's a good guy. Okay, whatever. The story's stupid.
The fact is, shut up, Aaron Rodgers. You also complained about the Pro Bowl last year and people not trying. That was the dumbest
Aaron Rodgers
fucking thing
says little stuff that I mean. I agree with him on. I agree on both parts because I love him.
Who cares about the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, but I think it's so boring. He knows that it's not competitive at all, and he thinks, we'd like it more if players didn't fucking jack around like that. All right, let's move on.
Quarterback time?
Well, yeah, we're just going to talk about this is the Random Mofos section of the week. I guess that's the title I'm going to give it now.
Random Mofos.
Random Mofos. Random Mofos. All right, first random Mofo we've got is Carson. What?
Carson Palmer? I was going to say Mofuckers, but...
Carson Daly.
Carson Daly. Didn't he have a show for a while? TRL?
Yeah, I think, that's
Carson
that was,
Daly. Yeah.
Okay,
Carson on NBC
yeah,
at like 1 in the morning.
I honestly like Carson Palmer a lot more than I like.
I could care less about either of them. But Carson Palmer we're going to talk about. Well, he had a lot of fantasy points last week, but he also had a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, he did. And
he's facing Baltimore.
He had
How's Ed Reed doing? He's good, right? Yeah.
No, he sucks. I'm just kidding.
He's healthy.
Ed Reed's a cool guy. Carson Palmer, yeah, he had a really good. He had 4 touchdowns. We had 3 interceptions. Those came late, I believe. I think he had 4 touchdowns, 1 interception at one point, and then by the end of the game, he that's what he does.
But it happens,
The way I see Carson Palmer is that he gains a fuckload of yards. Like Carson Palmer he's not going to throw.
That's because they're always losing.
Yards. Yeah, Carson Palmer throws for a shit ton of yards and a shit ton of picks. That's like what Carson Palmer does.
Yeah, because he always doesn't throw the ball. He throws the ball
throughout his
so
whole
much.
career. He's had really good seasons where he has a lot of touchdowns too, but he's never kept the picks low. He just fucking throws the ball. Like maybe
he's not a mobile quarterback at all,
but not really.
He's not mobile ever since his knee got blown out. He was never mobile before that, but he's always been terribly slow.
I think Carson Palmer is a good quarterback. I don't think the Raiders should trade 2 first-round draft picks for him and all that dumb shit.
That was a dumb trade. He did all right last year, but
I think he's still solid. I mean, I've always been a fan of him for whatever reason.
He used to be a top 5. I mean, in 06,
yeah, he was a good quarterback. But all right, for now, he's playing the Ravens,
in early high school.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, their defense. I don't think their defense is. There's a lot of injuries on their defense.
Listen, he's gonna have a chance to throw because I believe they're gonna control the ball. Ray Rice is going to get his touches. Joe Flacco's going to put in the end zone. Whatever they do, they're going to control the clock. And I believe that Carson Palmer, if it takes 400 yards passing and 60 passes for the Raiders to win. I don't think they're going to be
down that much. I don't think they're going to be down big.
I think they will be.
I don't think the Ravens
blow teams out anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they do that.
Maybe they won't be down big, but he'll still have to toss the ball.
I think it'd be better for Carson Palmer if they get down big, because
fantasy standpoint, yes.
Yeah, for fantasy standpoint, that's what we're all about. Besides the whole first 10 minutes of this show when we talked about Aaron Rodgers and Jeff Kent and whatnot.
How you doing, Tony? Tony, our producer.
Yes, he's on Facebook. I know that guy. Whoa, we'll go back. I know that guy. What's his name? His name's really weird. Sander.
We don't need to talk.
He's a cool guy. His name's not weird. I'm not, not that I believe
why are we
Sander
talking about random people? We don't need to talk about random people. He's not going to listen to this.
I like that guy, though. He's a cool guy. I met him
We have 5 listeners. He's not one of them.
Well, Sander, if you're listening.
Shout out to Joe Rathbone.
Joe Rathbone.
Yep.
Wait, is he real?
Soon. Yep, he just messaged
Joe Rathbone. Hey, man. Get your shit together.
Okay. What else next for it? Josh
Just
Freeman?
kidding. I have no
Josh
idea
Freeman?
who you are, so.
Josh Freeman time?
Josh, well, are we done with Carson? What do you think about Carson? Do you think what's he this week?
Not a fan.
Would you not start him?
No, I would not start him.
Bye week. You're on a bye week.
I would find a better option. If I couldn't, then I guess I would.
Carson Palmer. I would
start Ryan Tannehill, who is going to be in my starting stone, but we'll get to that later.
All right, let's just move on. Fuck Carson Palmer.
Okay, we're done.
Nobody's really too concerned.
Josh Freeman, Tampa Bay.
How'd you know? How'd you know we're going to talk about Josh Freeman next?
I just guessed. He's a very talkable guy. I mean, he
is.
played against Carson Palmer last week.
He did.
He has
and
good running back.
Moment.
I gotta say the Buccaneers' offense is actually good. They remind me. I mean, they're actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, I think
they got
we're gonna talk about Doug Martin a little later, but I think Doug Martin's gonna be like the Ray Rice and Maurice Jones-Drew of the future.
In many ways, he could be. Yes.
He's like the little short guy that's like big and weird and fast. I think he's good. That was a great pick because LeGarrette Blount was like fucking trying to hurdle everybody, and he weighs like 600 pounds. What?
Josh Freeman.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just.
Okay, well, the
fuck
point
you,
is,
man. I'm just saying that. All right,
yeah.
I'm getting a little off track. All right, Josh Freeman. He's playing the Chargers, who are, and I don't. They suck. I mean, they pretend to be good every year, and they suck.
Yeah, they're. I don't know. Josh Freeman. He's always been middle of the road. It's an every other year quarterback to me. This year he's doing decent, but last year was terrible. 2010 he was good.
You think he's doing decent, but I
can tell you this: in the 2013 fantasy football draft, I will not be drafting Josh Freeman.
I don't think anybody should. I don't see like Carson Palmer. You just talked about Josh Freeman. These should not be your starting quarterbacks, obviously.
No.
And Josh Freeman's been on fire. I'm pretty sure the last couple weeks he's got like 0 picks, 8, 9 touchdowns. Last 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, he's had some good numbers.
He does, but something I've looked at his stats, and I just found this out. He's got a 55.7 completion percentage on the year. That sucks.
It means he tosses the ball around too.
That sucks.
Yeah,
I don't trust you. If he's only completing,
that's almost Sanchezian.
That is a Sanchezian stat, and I think the reason he's had so much success, and it relates completely to the poor completion percentage, is like Vincent Jackson, because he either throws deep and gets huge plays from him, or he's just like sucking. And I guess Mike Williams is doing all right, this year. But I mean, besides them, there's really nobody I can think of. They have like Dallas Clark. He's doing nothing.
Dallas Clark's past the hill. Needless to say, Josh Freeman. Josh Freeman. Honestly, if he's on the waiver wire, I would go after him more than Carson Palmer.
Yeah, for this. Yeah,
for this week, this week and just in general. If you need a quarterback to start, because by the way, this Colts Jaguars game's over. Nothing major fantasy wise happened, but I gotta say Reggie Wayne.
If you started Andrew Luck, you probably got some
fountain youth.
Yes, Reggie Wayne.
The Colts defense doesn't suck.
This year in the fantasy drafts, for some reason, I never even remember seeing Reggie Wayne during the draft, and I wish
he was there. It's just I
don't even know how late he went. Probably like 80-something, 90-something.
Yeah, he was far down. He
was so far, and I don't know why.
Reggie Wayne's always been good.
I mean, he was still their best receiver. He even had a decent year with fucking Curtis Painter. He had like 900 yards with him. It's like, what do you expect when like the best quarterback prospect ever comes out?
Yards.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think he already has more yards than he did last year. I can almost guarantee that. It's halfway through.
He will have like little 15,
over halfway
yards.
Yeah, probably maybe one of the best seasons of his career.
They're on a bye week next week. They're 6-3 so far. I want to say they're on. They are.
After this game.
No, they're not on a bye week next week.
They're not.
They had the. They've
had a bye. Yeah.
I'm thinking of another team, but they were very early. They were by a long time ago. Needless to say, this team's good. Yeah, watch out for the Colts. They have an easy schedule. I think they're making the playoffs, 6 seed.
Yep, I agree. I would never have called that in the beginning of the year.
No, I would have gone 6-10, which is what
Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck has shocked me. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere near his potential yet.
No,
and I don't even think he's really that good right now.
No, statistically, he's not.
But he gets it done. Like you can see that he's not going to be a bust. Not that anybody ever thought he was going to be a bust.
We're getting off topic about that, though. We want to go to running backs now. Need to say Josh Freeman. You can pick him up.
Can you guess the next running back with your fucking psychic powers?
Teammate, Josh Freeman's. Want to go Dougie Martin right now?
No, let's go Aaron Foster.
Oh, yeah, Foster.
Yeah.
Let's go Aaron Foster.
All right.
I think Aaron Foster will not have a good game this week.
Playing the Bears, who let 140 yards to Chris Johnson.
We don't count that as a
let
stat.
It 80 yards on one play.
Yeah, so it was the second straight.
And Arian Foster, I almost agree with you. Arian Foster is not. He's not that. I mean, he's good. He's really good. He's probably one of the probably the best in the league overall. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of about to argue against that though.
He's very good
because here's something I found out. Arian Foster's got 4.0 yards per carry.
That's not great.
That's not great
like
at all.
Average.
Yeah,
definition of average. Really.
That is in the top 13 yards. 13 top.
By the way, we were called out by a listener a few weeks ago. I'm not going to name names, but he said putting Darren McFadden on the when we said starting Darren McFadden a couple weeks ago, we were starting to sit him with Darren McFadden. He said that was an obvious pick. Darren McFadden's averaged 3.3 yards per carry. So, listener, kiss my fucking ass because that was not an obvious thing, and Darren McFadden blows the dick.
It might be an obvious thing in the way that he's still like a top 20. You kind of have to use him.
3.3 yards per carry. That's terrible.
Did we say start him or did we say sit him? I don't know.
I believe we said start him. He was going against Kansas City.
I mean, it might be a little obvious, but that's not the point of this. It's saying if we're saying start him and it's a good guy, that means that we think he'll actually have a really good game. It's not like, oh, Adrian Peterson, start him.
No,
that's not what we're trying to do. Like if we wouldn't mention Adrian Peterson as a start-em probably ever because unless he had a really tough matchup and then we felt that he was still.
Well, that goes with the Arian Foster thing. I would still start Arian Foster because out of necessity you have to.
Well, the thing is with guys like Darren McFadden's different. This year.
You have guys like Foster, Ray Rice,
it's
McCoy.
never really a situation whether you're going to start him or not.
Yeah,
it's just confidence and how well you think they're going to play.
But I think he's going to get shut down by the Bears defense this week. However, I'm gonna say this. Between Foster and Forte, whoever has the better game, that team wins. Those two teams have weapons all over.
They're almost like the same team.
In many ways, they are.
Except Matt Schaub's not as erratic as Jay Cutler.
He's not as good as Jay Cutler, talent-wise.
No, but he's not as erratic.
No, he did better offensive line.
Yeah, he's more consistent.
Bears defense takes the ball away more, but the Texans defense gets after quarterback more. Both running backs are great.
All right. Well, one thing I want to say about Aaron Foster, I don't know how to word it. I was having trouble wording this.
Beast receivers.
For the top 13 rushers this year, who have the most yards, top 13, Arian Foster has the lowest yards per carry. Top 13, 12. He's obviously in the top 13. 12 of them. Everybody in the top 13 has better yards per carry, and a lot of them have a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
Which is lower than the likes of like Ahmad Bradshaw, Willis McGahee, and Alfred Morris. Like
guys who aren't as good as Arian Foster.
Yeah, you think of Arian Foster as like ridiculous, but you have to realize he's not playing. I'm sure he. No, he's not. Anybody who is within the top 13 in the league in yards is better than him right now in yards per carry. He does have 10 touchdowns. That leads the league. That's why he's still so dominant right now.
Yeah, they give him the ball. They score a lot.
And you can
points.
expect those to continue. But here's another thing. He's got 192 carries in 8 games, so he's pretty much on pace to die by the end of the season.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking carries.
He's going for 400 carries.
That's insane.
I expect him to start getting that's one of the reasons I think his yards per carry is so low is because he's getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, and the Bears are going to box him in.
They have Ben Tate, and I think Ben Tate was hurt. I don't know if Ben Tate's still hurt, but they have Ben Tate.
In fantasy, though, if you need
I think that Foster's going to start getting less carries, especially if they get close. If they start locking playoff.
Especially I think Ben Tate.
I think Foster's going to slow down.
Ben Tate could be a good playoff player.
I wouldn't say you should sell or like trade Foster. But if you could trade Foster for like Ray Rice or something, then I'd think if you could just make an even top running back trade right now, I would expect Foster to kind of fall off a little bit. I think he'll be good, but he can't run the ball 400 times.
It's a lot of carries.
He'll be fucked up. Yeah. Like they don't need to even do that. I don't know why they give him the ball that much. Ben Tate is actually a pretty good running back.
But needless to say, it's going to be I think it's a tough matchup for Foster, but however, you still start him. Next up will be Doug Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, Doug Martin. Wow. 2 games in his last 2
games in a row. fucking 250 yards.
It was like
4
260,
touchdowns.
but he went backwards.
Yeah, he lost. I've heard that he lost like 14 yards on his last 3 plays.
Because he was going, he was kind of like running clock out.
He was playing Chris Johnson game.
Yeah, Chris Johnson roped the dope back and forth.
Ropa de dopa.
But
right,
Doug Martin, rookie of the year, maybe.
Talk. Well, what do you think? Him? It's pretty much him, Luck, or RG3.
RG3, of course. Yeah, those are.
I think those are the only 3 besides. Yeah. Oh yeah, because it is split by position. Yeah,
but Doug Martin's been the best rookie
Casey
running
Hayward.
backs. I mean, you look at Trent Richardson. Yeah, he's had some good yards, but Trent Richardson averages like 3.6 yards per carry. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, Doug Martin.
I know the Browns suck, but still
killing Trent Richardson. I mean, Trent Richardson is having a good year. I think, like in general.
Yeah, he's second best. Probably.
Yeah, he's got less yards per carry than Arian Foster.
Yeah,
he's one of the guys.
Yeah, he has a lot less than most guys.
And it's because he's on the Browns, I think.
Yeah, but Doug Martin, though. What's Doug Martin's yards per carry average?
I'm sure it's fucking phenomenal. Let me check real quick, because I'm good like that. Fill the air while I check.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about Doug Martin. Tony, what's your thoughts on Doug Martin?
Top 5 running backs this year in yardage-wise is... Hold on, Tony. We'll get your sweet thoughts in a moment. We've got... Oh, God! Something happened. Top 5 running backs right now, yardage wise, is AP, my main man, ML, Marshawn, DM. All right, I'm gonna stop with
Doug Martin.
Doug Martin, Alfred Morris, which is fucked up, and then Arian Foster.
Martin, what's his yard? How many yards Doug Martin got?
He's got 794.
On how many yards per carry?
He is averaging 5.2 yards a carry.
That's good.
And
not CJ Spiller good, but
yeah,
that's like 7 yards a carry or something ridiculous.
He is ranked 8th in the league when you sort it by that on ESPN. That's because there's weird fucks apparently Daryl Richardson's getting 5.4 yards a carry. What? That's fucked up. And RG3 and Cam Newton are ahead of him because that's
we don't need to consider quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't know they were gonna pop in here. CJ Spiller's still averaging 7.2 yards a carry. He's ridiculous, but he just doesn't get the ball. What?
Doug Martin, what's your thoughts on Doug Martin?
We need to get a towel.
Doug, come here, Tony. Tell me your thoughts on Doug Martin.
You see, I'm glad that you brought up the subject, because Doug Martin, I mean, well, let's just think about it. 90s, right?
Yeah.
One's, like, animated. One's, like, real life, they're both comedy.
Whoa! We're not. Whoa! We're not talking about the TV show Doug or the TV show Martin. However, that's really good. That is really good.
They are good.
Those were good shows.
And people,
Martin Lawrence,
you're like,
very
oh
funny
hey,
black
have
guy.
you ever seen Doug? And they're like, yeah, sure, I've seen Frank. And then they don't even. It's like, what I was talking about. They don't know who Doug is. Martin, they think of like cheeseburgers.
But I mean, Doug Martin, if you go together, those are 2 good 90s TV shows.
Yeah.
I think he was actually named after those.
So Doug Martin himself,
he's born like 88 or something.
Player, fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. What do you think of his running style?
It's really cool because he's got like this like kind of, I don't know, like when he's running, you feel like you know what he's thinking about. And it really makes you get into the game.
What would you say he's thinking about?
What is he thinking about?
Probably fucking Doug and Martin.
Oh, yeah, his 2 favorite TV shows. We actually...
Well, no. He probably hates them. It's like his rival. What are you going to do when you search Doug Martin? It's like, you're going to Doug or... No,
I actually think Nick at Night runs Doug and then Martin back to back. I honestly think Nick...
And
Nick
he should
at,
host
Nick at Night
it. This
might...
is a great sponsor thing for him. We should talk
I think
to
they
his
should bring
manager
Doug,
about
the
that.
TV show Doug, back, and Martin Lawrence should be a character on Doug.
That'd be very interesting.
And then the best football player at Doug's school, Doug Martin.
That is pretty clever.
That is really clever. But Doug Martin, he's a good player. Boise State played on the blue turf.
Good. He runs very well.
Oh, he does.
He runs very incredibly.
How much did he run this year?
A lot of yards. It's almost like 880 or something.
No, he's at like 790.
How much
he will be after this
buildings
game.
is that? It's like a tall.
It's really tall, actually. That's like a lot of miles. No, it's not many miles at all, actually. It's no miles.
Yeah, it's no miles.
It's like half a mile. That's still...
Think about that. Go out to your, like, just find, like, a weird, like, middle school around where you live and just run around the track twice.
Why would I want to go to a middle school?
I don't know. Or you can go to high school, I guess. But
Yeah,
then
it's a little more
there's
appropriate.
Hotter chicks
Yes.
at the middle school.
Oh! No, dude, preschool. Okay, that's beside the point,
They don't have
though.
track. They don't
What
have
about the wide
tracks
receivers?
Wide receivers.
We gonna talk about B-Marsh?
Donald Driver.
No, we're not talking about Donald Driver.
He is old. All right,
Brand Marshall.
Brand Marshall. He's a big man,
He's a very big man.
and I wouldn't be surprised.
If he gets a touchdown this week, going against Jonathan Joseph. Jonathan Joseph's a good corner. Texans are a physical team. J.J. Watt's gonna be putting some pressure on Cutler all night. Unfortunately.
I'm gonna go for 6 sacks for Watt.
Really?
That's what I'm calling.
Okay.
You really? Yeah.
No, I don't feel that at all.
No, I'm kidding.
Brand
All right.
Marshall had a great game. This guy's a freak. He's having the best. He's the best wide receiver the Bears have ever had.
Touchdowns.
He did have 3 touchdowns.
That's gay.
Cutler targets him more than any other Bears wide receiver combined, which doesn't say much because he's way better than all of them. I mean, it's like he's like on the fucking top of
And
Mount
Alshon
Everest,
Jeffrey's not
and they're in New
in right
Orleans.
now, right?
I mean, that's the difference in sea level between the Bears receivers: Mount Everest and New Orleans.
What?
Scooch that over. This.
I personally think, though, Brand Marshall's on pace to get about 1,600 yards, probably about 14, 15 touchdowns
Yep,
this year.
that's
Probably
what
he's going to get over 100 catches if this keeps up, unless he misses games. If he plays all 16 games,
Yeah,
he's
he's
going
got
to get
like
like
90 targets in 8
games. Yeah, he gets thrown to 10 times a game roughly.
Time out in the podcast. Where we are.
Needless to say, Brand Marshall. Sorry, I got a little off track. Brand Marshall, he's top 5 wide receiver. Fantasy wise, I think he's number 1 in one of the leagues.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback too.
Okay, maybe. I mean, maybe he could throw a ball 35.
Hey
40
man,
yards.
he's big, and you know what?
Steve Johnson.
No.
What do you want to say?
You know what? I want to talk about true love, and
True life
true love
between who?
between Brandon Marshall
Okay.
and his wife.
Stop. No, we're not going there.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Brandon Marshall is a true gentleman.
Okay, we're not.
He might have some problems, and I love Brandon Marshall. I mean, I loved him before he was on the Bears. I still got like small respect for him, just because before that. But it's not every day you get stabbed by your wife. It's not. And when you stick through that, when she shanked, whatever she uses,
She shanked him.
she shanked him.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure what she used. Maybe it wasn't even a knife. Maybe she was going light on him that night. And true love is just when you can take one to the gut.
Brandon Marshall.
Speaking of that, Steve Johnson.
Steve Johnson.
He kind of does shady shit as well.
He's a little bit of a weird guy, isn't he?
But I love him.
He's a good receiver. Plays for the Bills. They're not
He's
a good team.
I don't know why he's good. Steve Johnson just came out of nowhere. He's like I don't know where he was drafted, when he was drafted. I don't know how old he is.
I thought he went to like Louisville.
He could be 45. He could be
Maybe Louisville.
25. I don't know. Stevie Johnson just appeared like out of the blue. Like I've never heard a word about him in my life. And then last year it's just like, oh, Steve Johnson's good. Like 2 years ago, it's just like, oh, this random guy. We're not going to tell you where he came from. It's just Steve Johnson. You know him, Stevie as well. This is how he goes. He just, I don't know. He might.
How's he doing this year?
I mean, like, people say Barack Obama might be like some like Arab, like terrorist.
Steve Johnson.
Stevie Johnson, where I want to see his birth certificate.
Me too.
Fuck. Donald Trump always wants birth certificates, man.
Donald Trump's got a lot of money.
Donald Trump's got a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Let's
but
not
he's got
get into
great,
that. But
sick
Stevie
flow.
Johnson,
Successful
Stevie Johnson,
businessman.
I don't know, you crazy terrorist.
But
But
let
let me see. Let me see that birth certificate, my man.
Yeah. Steve Johnson, he's a good option for fantasy.
Yeah, he is.
What stats?
Well,
do you? You're a stat man.
I'm a stat bad. Well,
You drafted him. You have him on your team.
I drafted him. I was a guy that, the way I looked at when I was in my draft this year, like, I don't know, I wanted the, you want those top players, obviously, in the first few rounds, you're looking for these big guys. But for some reason, I felt like, Stevie Johnson wasn't, like, that high on the rankings and stuff. He was going in, like, the 5th, 6th round, I think.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I looked at him like, oh, he's going to get 1,000 yards and some touchdowns. I don't know. And then I was like, that's really good. And then now I'm realizing that I don't know if I've started him yet. Like, he's really not that great. I mean, I have some wide receiver depth, but, like, I realized I don't really trust Stevie Johnson. Like,
I wouldn't either necessarily, because I think there's better options out there.
I think he's a good receiver, and I think Ryan Fitzpatrick's a decent quarterback.
I don't even think he's a decent quarterback.
He's a smart little fella.
He's a smart guy with a nice beard.
Oh, man, his beard. He looks exactly like Matt Flynn when Matt Flynn had a beard.
They're twins.
And Matt Flynn looks exactly like Matt Damon when he doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, I guess so.
He really does.
Or Shane West, the actor.
Does he look like him, too?
I think so.
All right, let me, hold on.
We have a couple Johnsons we're talking about.
No, Steve Johnson's not done. He's played New England this week. They just got Aqib Talib, and he's a shady guy as well.
Yeah, what happened?
I thought he was. I don't know how he's in the league. I thought he was going to prison for like 10 years. I thought him and his mom were like shooting at people or something.
That's what I. Yeah,
isn't that a real story? Right?
I think it is.
Something about
There's
him and his
weird
mom,
guys
and
out
they
there.
were shooting. They like shot at somebody. I thought. I have no idea how he's like not in jail. I thought he was like doomed, but it's not even a story anymore. It's just that
I guess it just kind of went away.
I guess he's not going to jail, but he's a pretty good cornerback. He'll probably be on Stevie Johnson, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Is this his first? Yeah, it was bye week last week.
Or Devin McCourty, either one. But I mean,
he's pretty good as well.
But I mean,
either way, they're both pretty good.
If you keep
Stevie Johnson's got.
Belichick has a tendency not to use guys with names that are relevant guys.
He uses like the most random. Like
I bet you Julian Edelman will have.
He's got 10
all.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's got like 10 All-Stars, and he's like, "Oh, here's some random motherfucker who
and
like
it actually works.
Has never done anything in his life.
Yeah,
here you can have the ball, and then they win."
Chad Ochocinco. I'd rather have Matthew Slater than you.
Hey, I'm surprised that Matthew Slater made it to the podcast in reference.
I think his dad is Jackie Slater, the player.
Okay,
and
well, real
you know
quick,
his cousin is AC Slater.
Okay, but real quick on Stevie Johnson, he's got 35 catches on 70 targets. 70 targets is pretty nice.
Because Ryan Fitzpatrick likes to overthrow the ball.
Yeah, but 50% I believe is not too great.
It's not great.
It's not too great. And 82 yards is the most he's had in a game this year. I mean, the upside isn't really ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure I think he'll end up having maybe a 100-yard game this year, probably.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 4 touchdowns. He's been decent. I don't think he's going to score in this game. I don't think he's going to have more than 80 yards.
I wouldn't start him.
I think he'll get about 70, 60 yards, and that's about it.
The verdict, Steve Johnson, don't start him. We got another Johnson, though. The best wide receiver in the game, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he is, but
he's a freak. You look at that guy. Look at him. I just picture whenever I play like video games with him, it's like so much bigger than everyone else.
Oh yeah,
it's like whenever you press the Y button in Madden, you accidentally jump. Calvin Johnson can like jump over guys in that game. That's how big he is. He's like a guy you created.
Yeah, he's like a fucking Ron Bergenstein. He's 6'8".
He's not that big. 6'6", 250. He's a size of tight end with speed that like Randy Moss liked.
He is.
Randy Moss with
the most
more
talented.
Build.
He's got 1 touchdown this year, which is fucked up.
I know. Matthew Stafford only has 8 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
only one to Calvin Johnson.
What did he throw for last year? 41.
Yeah,
what's he on pace for? 16.
Yeah, basically
less than half. That's fucked up. I don't think he's gonna throw for. I think he'll pick it up.
Like over. I think Megatron will have like 7 or 8 touchdowns. But Megatron,
which
is a guy,
means, if you're saying that means you think he's gonna be really, really good for the rest of the year.
Yeah, actually, I do. I think he's gonna pick
touchdown
it up.
a game.
He's too good of a receiver. And he's had other good statistics. It's just he hasn't gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, at this point, his yardage is fine. Like people, I've heard like stupid shit like Madden curse. It's like, okay, he's a little banged up right now.
He's got some hand issues.
But he's a little banged up. But he was like third, and I heard people like saying stupid Madden curse shit, and he was like third in the league in yards. It's like, come on, he's
kind of one of those guys
who's not
who's
scoring touchdowns.
Proof, he's having a down year, but he's still
down year, but just because of the touchdowns.
But I mean, down year for him is different. He has a higher standard.
Yeah, last
we
year
put
at
him
this
into
point,
a
he
higher
probably
standard.
had 10 touchdowns or 8
Oh yeah, he
or
was
9.
a freak, and he had more than 10. He probably had 13 touchdowns last year at this point. He had a lot through a few games.
Did he slow down at the end?
Yeah, I think he did. But he honestly, going into November, he had a shit. He was on pace for like 22, 23 touchdowns at one point, I thought. He had a few games. I think he had a game early last year with 3 touchdowns.
I think there was a point where he was
and like 240
threatening
yards.
Randy Moss, who is the greatest wide receiver ever.
Not quite.
Okay, Jerry Rice. But then I will go
Randy Moss.
But
Calvin Johnson is a cat. Can get into the top 5 all time. He has that potential.
Oh, yes, he can. Very, very. I mean, he's. I don't know. He's just so good.
I would start him every week. I don't care.
Well, that's no. You can never bench him.
Start him
unless he was like doubtful and you couldn't
get
to your
computer. On him, you don't start him. But even then, you wait next to the computer and you see if he's playing.
Yeah, if he's playing, you have to. I mean, that's kind of obvious about it. It's obvious. It's very obvious. There's no. Unless there's literally no situation where you would not start a guy like Megatron.
No.
And there's a lot of guys that are like that, but the thing about we just want to talk about him. He's got 1 touchdown. We think he's gonna pick that up.
Plays Minnesota this week. Who knows?
Plus, he's still got a lot of yards on the season.
I expect him to get a touchdown.
It's not like he has no fantasy.
I expect him to have 125 yards receiving, and I say, I will go with he will score 2 touchdowns this week. He will get in the end zone a couple times in Detroit.
I'll kind of agree with that. That's a bold prediction, but
it's a good NFC North game because these they're not. Let's face it.
I think it'll be
their battle for whoever loses this game will be in last place.
I think if he's playing, he's going to come up.
However, whoever wins this game can have a chance to make playoffs.
Our last random mofo.
How about a Hall of Famer, Tony Gonzalez?
He's a Hall of Famer, and I was a fan of him. I don't like him anymore. I don't know why. I just don't.
He plays for the Falcons. I think that's why.
I don't know. I just kind of don't like the Falcons. I guess. Yeah, that's probably most of it. I don't know. He just annoys me. Like you see it like in the off season, you see him talk about stuff, and he just bothers me.
Greatest tight end ever.
No,
maybe.
he pretty much is. I mean, he's great.
In many ways, he revolutionized the position.
Well,
I mean, you look. He was the first of this generation that has so many great tight ends. Rob Gronkowski probably wouldn't be playing tight end if it was for Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham definitely wouldn't. They have very many similarities in their game.
Thing.
Yeah. Played at Cal Berkeley.
Tony Gonzalez, he's having a great year. He's like fucking 37 or 36. I don't know. He's old.
He's ageless. He's like that Brad Pitt, Benjamin
That's not
Button.
how I see him. He hasn't, I believe, last couple weeks, he really hasn't produced the way he was. I don't know. I just think in Atlanta, there's Roddy White, there's Julio Jones.
There's other options.
And
I agree with you. Absolutely.
Tony Gonzalez, I mean, he's still good, and early on, and he still was. I think he's been decent lately. I don't know. I think he's had some bad games. I don't know. I was offered trades where I would give up, pretty much swap Jimmy Graham for Tony Gonzalez, and then upgrade at other positions. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to do it because I just don't. I really trust Jimmy Graham, and I don't know if I have a trust issue with I think it's like older players
yeah, because he is older.
I just feel like and I think he's still got the talent. I don't know why. Maybe I'm being stupid, but I just can't bring myself to believe that he's that old and he's going to continue to be a big part as consistently as
all our options
23 or 24-year-old Jimmy Graham. I don't know how old he is. He's young.
Right around there, yeah.
And he's just a monster. Gronkowski's a monster. Yeah, he is. He's great, and he does cool touchdown dances in London.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
But Tony Gonzalez, if you have him on your team, you're gonna get some sort of consistency. See, he's kind of a security blanket.
If you can trade your Tony Gonzalez for Gronk, I don't think you can't. You can't do that. But if you can just give up a bench guy and Tony Gonzalez, I would try and get Gronk or Graham, a good bench guy, somebody you're not using. You have a deep bench, you have a good team, and you just want to secure your tight end position. I'd rather have those kind of guys. Gonzalez is right behind him in points and stuff, but I trust them much more, even though he is good. And if you do have him, you can stick with him. I wouldn't go out and get him because I'm afraid to get him, but
it's understandable.
It's just my opinion on that.
Now we're going to get a word from our sponsors right now.
This winter,
Somebody told me it was gonna get cold, and your nice car won't be so hot. Jackson's antifreeze warms your body.
We got some quick injury notes.
Yeah, this isn't even all of the injuries that happened this week.
Jake Locker's back.
Interesting. Yeah, Jake Locker's gonna be back. I think he's a decent fantasy option. Better than Hasselbeck.
Oh, definitely.
Because he's got athletic skills. He's younger,
Quicker.
He's actually a really athletic quarterback. He can run. He can run like not with the best of them, but
he's above average.
Probably better than Rodgers even at running. He's at least around that kind of running.
Yeah, he's good skill.
He's got that. So
DeMarco Murray's still out.
DeMarco Murray is out this week, as far as I know in this so far.
I actually thought I heard he was coming back. He should get
the injury report I just read said he was out, and when they rule him out, that means normally for that week.
Yeah.
So. And
that's
then
a big
McFadden
loss.
just went out, which kind of sucks
but
for
he
you
hasn't
guys.
Been that great
he hasn't been great.
But he always gets hurt.
Mm-hmm. No real shocker. It's kind of upsetting. It's even more upsetting because he really hadn't even played well. If you can unload, I don't know. Real quick on McFadden, which side of this would you take? Would you want to unload him and just get rid of him and say, fuck you, like, you haven't done shit, you're hurt now?
I would do that.
But would you unload him for a guy like Sean Green? Because
That's
Sean Green blows. Or if you were in the position you have Sean Green, would you try to trade Sean Green for McFadden? Would you do that if you could get it done?
No. Actually, I want it, and I don't like Sean Green, but Darren McFadden gets hurt a lot, and the risk would get me away from it, even if he wasn't hurt right now.
If Sean Green's out of your bench and you're probably not going to use him, then I would say...
Then I wouldn't care.
So there's more upside with McFadden. If he comes
there
back...
is a lot more upside.
He's still got those mad speed, whatever. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
I think he'll be... I think this is a really down year for him.
Well, yeah.
And maybe he's not as good as we thought, but...
Maybe he's going downhill. Keep in mind, he's like 27, 28 years old.
What?
He's been in the league for 5 years.
What?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
It's kind of blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, it is. I remember when he was in
Chris
college.
Johnson?
Same. 27. Matt Forte, 27. Ray Rice, 26.
Seems like the prime time.
Oh, a lot of guys. Mendenhall's 27.
Mendenhall's not that... Well,
Mendenhall's hurt. Needless to say, and those three guys are all... There's some injury reports. We're going to get to the start 'em, sit 'em right now. The start 'em, sit 'ems. I'm going to go through a quick rapid fire then. Start 'em?
Sit 'em.
Exactly. I'm going to go start, not in every league, but there's some bye weeks. And listen, one big quarterback is out this week, and that's Aaron Rodgers. I would start, let's just say, and this situation...
Oh, wait, hold on. I have Aaron Rodgers in like every league I possibly could because... And I haven't even thought about... Because I'm an idiot, and I haven't even been like...
You know who's a good guy?
I've spent more time preparing for this podcast than I have preparing my fantasy teams.
You know, it's a good guy. You know who's a good guy to pick up?
Who do I need?
I think you need some Ryan Tannehill on the waiver wire.
Ryan Tannehill.
He's facing the Tennessee Titans, 32nd ranked defense in the NFL.
All right, that is very true.
He's got some options. I picked up Devon Best this week. I don't know how he's going to do. Ryan Tannehill's been pretty decent this year for a rookie. He looks all right. Dolphins don't suck. They're a pretty average team in consideration with the talent.
They're actually a pretty good team. They can make the playoffs.
They could. Sure. You know, you could think
he's actually
weak
Ryan Tannehill is decent. You think he's the guy I should go for?
I think you should. However,
over a Carson Palmer?
Yes.
Over a Josh Freeman?
Josh Freeman's not off the waiver wire. But if you have the chance, start. If you
be.
need to, over Rodgers.
I think in one of my leagues he's there.
Yes.
Snag him up.
Tannehill. Over them all.
Wow.
Tannehill.
It's a bold statement.
It's a very bold statement, but I'm going with it. Start Ryan Tannehill. Sit Michael Vick. This is beating a dead horse. But Dallas, DeMarcus Ware is going to eat him up. Sit him.
Okay.
Sit DeMarcus. Don't sit DeMarcus Ware. You got him defensive player.
Sit DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, I don't think he's really in many leagues.
He's not a good quarterback.
Yeah, he's not a good quarterback. sit Michael Vick. I know it's been beating a dead horse, but he's getting
Who's he
his
playing?
ass kicked. He's playing Dallas in Philadelphia, but it doesn't matter. They don't have it. Can't protect him.
Would you start Tannehill over Vick?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are a bold bad.
He's facing Tennessee, but that's beside the point. Don't start Michael Vick.
Talk about his girlfriend.
Not in
Quick comment.
She's babe.
Thanks.
Start Michael Turner. Now I know a couple years ago that would be like, whoa, that's an obvious. He's facing New Orleans. New Orleans, they can't really stop the run very well.
No, they can't. But Michael Turner hasn't been that good.
I'd still start him, and I would sit Jamal Charles because he's facing Pittsburgh.
Sit him? Well, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't sit him
Per se,
if you had him.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna. I don't expect a big week.
In him this week.
No, I'm not.
All right,
I got a couple big sit-ems in the wide receiver department. I would sit Steve Smith, and I don't know if I will. Like I said, a couple weeks ago I said sit Steve Smith. I'm still on that bandwagon because I don't feel really comfortable using Steve Smith because of the guy throwing him the football.
Steve Smith or Denarius Moore?
In terms of who I'd start?
Yep. This week.
Neither.
Those are your guys. Pick one of them.
Probably Denarius Moore.
All right, so that's just to give some clarity on what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Denarius Moore isn't all that bad.
No, he's not. Dwayne Bowe, I'd sit. I know it's.
Whoa, man! I got Dwayne Bowe in 2 leagues.
I know Dwayne Bowe's a good, but look who he's throwing the ball to, and look who he's facing defensively. Monday night game.
I didn't think it would matter at first, but I do think Castle versus Brady Quinn. Castle throws the ball way more often to Dwayne Bowe.
To Dwayne Bowe?
Yeah, and he's back, so
but
helps him a little bit.
Maybe they'll notice that on the defense because they have a great defensive coordinator, a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator.
Who are they playing?
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Monday Night Football. Ugh, not a good Monday night game. Won't be watching that.
I could see that's being a blowout, even though Pittsburgh I don't think is that good.
I think they're good. They win in New York and they punched them in the mouth.
Oh yeah, that was
they rocked them like a hurricane. They rocked them like a hurricane.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, we're past that.
Rock like a hurricane.
I know that. Brian Hartline. I would start Brian Hartline facing Tennessee. Jason McCourty blows.
So you're big on the Dolphins.
This week
Jason
I am.
McCourty does not blow, man. He's got his twin, and I'm a bigger fan
terrible.
of Jason than Devin.
No, Devin's way better than Jason.
But I'm more of a fan of Jason.
I don't know why you would be.
Because I'm for the underdogs, man.
I guess so.
And I actually thought he was having a good year.
He got torched by Marshall. Listen, Brian Hartline, good option. Bad defense you're facing.
He is.
Start Brian Hartline. He's going to have a good week. I'd also start Mike Williams. Tampa's Mike Williams.
I would go with free agent Mike Williams. I don't know.
No, Mike Williams as the younger Mike Williams, not the USC one. Josh Freeman likes this Mike Williams cat. Josh Freeman's facing San Diego.
That's a good call.
I know I said I would start Tannehill, and I still think over Freeman, but I'm starting Mike Williams. Tight end wise, I'm gonna start. Have an option with Denver Broncos. I think Peyton Manning likes to use his tight ends. Joel Druss and Jacob Tammy. Start one of them. If you have one of them on your team, and you don't really have good tight end options, you're going between him and I don't know Brandon Myers. The fuck's Brandon Myers?
I don't know what the fuck he is, but he's actually having a decent year.
Yeah, I'm not starting him. I'm saying sit his
I would
ass.
go with. I think it's Dreesen, whatever his name is. I think it's him over Tammy.
Guess what
at this
defense
point.
I'm starting this week?
The Packers bye week, so you don't lose points on the Bears defense.
Oh yeah, okay. Dolphins defense. What a coincidence! Seeing this Titans team in firsthand, I'm more of a Titans hater. This Titans team
sucks. Who's your favorite?
Cameron Wake's a beast.
I did not know you love the Dolphins.
Cameron Wake's a beast.
Cameron Wake is a beast.
He's having a great year.
You know, one real quick just popped into my mind. The people who lead the league in sacks are people who sacked Aaron Rodgers 5 times in a game. That's what happens. It's just a fact. I remember a couple years ago, Cameron Wake was leading the league. He sacked him 5 times. Fucking, what's that weird guy on the Bengals?
Antoine Odom?
Yep, he sacked Aaron Rodgers 4 or 5 times. He was leading the league, and then he got out for the season.
Yeah,
there's so many. J.J. Watt sacked him twice, helped him out. J.J. Watt's a beast.
I'm worried about him.
The thing, fuck it. We're in that league where you lose a point for a sack, which I think is so bullshit.
I think it's bullshit.
I hate it. But Aaron Rodgers
gotten sacked a lot this year.
Yeah, he gets sacked so much, and I think it's just Greg who set up those rules. He helped us,
Yeah, well, Greg's an idiot. But
he makes fucking. You get a point for every 5
he
pass attempts because he has Drew Brees. He put that rule. He put the rule. You get a point for every 5 pass attempts. Who's going to benefit from that most? Drew Brees, because he throws the ball 50 times a game. Greg set up that rule, and he has Drew Brees.
Our buddy Greg likes to.
And he set up the sack rule. Drew Brees doesn't get sacked that much. Aaron Rodgers gets sacked all the time.
Falcons defense. I'd sit the Falcons defense. They're facing New Orleans, which is a good way to translate the segment into, or transfer, whatever.
Translate.
Yo quiero Taco Bell, type of thing. But Falcons defense, sit them. That's a start 'em, sit 'em segment. Start 'em.
What's the segment?
Sit 'em.
Start 'em. Sit 'em.
Sit 'em.
Say it again.
Start 'em.
Sit 'em.
Okay.
What's the next segment?
All right. I believe this is the segment.
You got 5 minutes. 5 minutes for the segment.
We have like 3 more segments.
Just go over and under. Go over and under.
What the fuck?
What the fuck segment?
Yeah.
Why does Aaron Rodgers almost have he has like 165 rushing yards.
Say what the fuck.
All right.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? This is what the fuck segment, which is just like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you so ridiculous, or why are you so fucking horrible?
And also, fuck you to Jermichael Finley and Michael LaShore.
Yeah, well, fuck you to Michael LaShore. He's the first one for having 3 touchdowns on my bench because I had no reason to start him, and then he just fucking does that, and I'm like, you bastard. I probably would have lost anyway. My team sucked this week. Fuck you to Jermichael Finley. He completely lost me a game. Not last week, but the week before. Jimmy Graham was questionable, and he was out the last week, so I was like, this is kind of weird. And I believe in Jermichael Finley, like I said on the other podcast. I put him in. He gets me 4 points. Jimmy Graham starts, and he gets like 15 points. I lose by 1 point. Fuck you, Jermichael Finley. I love you, but fuck you.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers has like 165 yards rushing. Alex Green, I know Cedric Benson got hurt. Thank God. Terrible human being. But Alex Green has like 230 rushing yards. Aaron Rodgers 165. I'm a little worried that Aaron Rodgers may lead the Packers in rushing. If you're a Packer fan, you don't want that.
That'd be fucked up, especially since Aaron Rodgers is not RG3, who is what the fuck, RG3? You're gonna run for over 1,000 yards in your rookie year or in any year. Come on, man. Like, I mean, it's great, but what the hell,
dude?
What the fuck?
He's literally changing the game in many ways.
He is. I mean,
however,
Cam
I'm a
Newton
little worried.
Changing the game? Nah.
No.
How about the RG3?
I think RG3 has a better
arm. Go to
arm.
Subway. Do whatever he says,
Alex Smith's completion percentage this year is retardedly good. I'm sorry to use the word retard. Ridiculously good.
Yeah,
it's mean. It's because it's not slow and it's offensive. I'm sorry. It's insane.
It is.
69.4%?
Yeah. I mean, Alex
I know
Smith,
he's like 18, 19 last game. That's kind of like
Alex Smith's thing. He's like just being conservative and throwing the ball like short.
3 yards.
But that's way too good. Like, Alex Smith sucked for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now he might.
Jim Harbaugh is an amazing coach and an amazing human being.
Yeah, he's pretty much turned his career around and allowed him to not be working McDonald's or whatever. He's
selling real estate. He's got an education,
You're right.
But
we'll go on.
Alex Smith, and that's insane. What the fuck, Alex Smith?
What the fuck?
You're going to set NFL records? This is the same Alex Smith who looks like Tucker Max, the douchey bro who wrote those hilarious books.
Apparently I have like a brain problem, because I don't remember. I think I read, I did. I read like part of one of his books, Tucker Max.
Well, we're getting
and you know what?
topic.
It's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty entertaining. It's not interesting. It's
the guy's a douche, but needless to say,
he's a total douche. But it's entertaining books.
He's a spoiled white kid who got really good education. That's basically what he is. And I have nothing against white
Duke
kids
or something.
University. He was
all right,
silver
one
spoon
more.
in his ass. But that's
besides what the fuck, Tucker Max, and then there's also what the fuck, Charles Peanut Tillman.
Oh, come on.
Seriously, what the fuck, man? Like, oh man, hold on. Hold it up. Jerking off to Charles Tillman real quick. Oh, wait. Here we go. Almost.
You're not going to get it back. Just talk into it.
Alright. You want to fix it? Is it fine? Charles Tillman, like I watched the game, and like my whole life I've watched this motherfucker just punch balls out of people. Like,
he's even better in person.
I'm sure it was. Why is he the only person in the league that can do that? What the fuck? Like, Charles Woodson, I would actually say, is the second best at doing that.
Probably is, yeah.
But he's not even. He's like. I mean, he's close.
Charles Woodson likes. He also likes to stand guys. He also likes when the refs are. Wait, hold on. Let me tell you this. He also likes when the refs aren't looking. He also likes standing guys up and punching them in the stomach, as he did against the Saints last year.
Same if he had the chance with his like apparently like past life boxing career he had. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he was reincarnated. I think he was actually like Muhammad Ali in the past. Like, now I know Muhammad Ali is still alive, but that's actually a shot at Muhammad Ali.
He is, and I don't know what the fuck. Like, it's what he forced 4 fumbles. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, or what the hell's right with you? What the fuck is right with you? Stop it.
Yeah,
stop it, Peanut. Stop it. All right, let's do a little quick over/under on little prediction type diddly doo dig.
And then we'll go to our pick'ems, and then we'll be donezo.
Yes, that's the end because we like to talk for way too long, and you probably don't hear this.
Want to listen, but get going.
Well, if anybody's listening still, that's a major statement in being
I doubt
very
they are.
Nice. So thank you if you are, but if not. You don't hear this. So
just go.
Over or under? 16 points for my man Cam Newton versus Denver.
Under.
Going under?
Yeah.
I'm going to go under too. I'm going under. All right. Over or under? 13 points for Matt Forte.
Over. Not by much.
Under, because I don't think he's going to score a touchdown. Texans. I think he might
I'll
have
give him 90 yards.
If he
and
scores
like 22
a touchdown,
carries,
he's over.
and a
I think
touchdown.
he'll have the yards for it. I think if he scores a touchdown. I don't think he will. That's why I'm going under.
Okay.
75 rushing yards for the
Arian Foster. He is going under. I'm going to say about 58 on 20 carries.
I
think the Bears will
actually
box
go
him
under.
in.
I think he'll run for like 70, just a little bit under.
Okay.
And I think Ben Tate will get a little action, get a couple yards, take away a little bit. 110 total yards for Doug Martin.
Over. Like 130. I think he'll get 100. I think most of it will be rushing. I think he'll get like a 120-yard day.
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll get a touchdown.
I'll go over as well.
Also, Gronkowski, 2 touchdowns this week. Another prediction. Just
that's coming up, man. It's coming up.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Did I already ruin it?
You ruined it.
Well, Rob Gronkowski.
Hold on, let's all right. Well, fine. Right here, over under 1.5 touchdowns for Rob Gronkowski.
Forgot that was the segment. Going with 2, so over.
I'm gonna go under. I just don't. I mean, I'm not gonna make a prediction for 2. I think it's gonna be 1 or none.
Okay.
And 1 and done. None and done.
44.
But all right, we got 2 more.
I love saying
75 rushing yards for the man of my 1-year school, Michael Turner, versus New Orleans. 75 rushing yards, over or under?
Oh, over. He's having a big day.
I guess I'll go over as well. I'm really kind of not believing in the burner anymore.
Our picks, his team won't have. His team's gonna lose something. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, man. All right. Do you think? And last one, over or under a 40-yard play for Mike Wallace. You think he's gonna have that big play, or is it?
I actually will say he won't.
It's Kansas City.
He won't, but I think he'll score.
I think he will, just because it's Kansas City.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Quick thing, Antonio Brown's been a huge disappointment in my opinion.
Oh yeah, he has.
He's disappointed me week in, week out.
But Heath Miller,
for some reason,
security blanket. Heath Miller.
Yeah.
Big Ben, by the way. I'm not a big Ben fan, and I'll go in for like this. I'll say this for about 25 seconds. Not a big Ben fan. Never have been. Get annoyed when he holds on a ball too long. However, I think this is the best season he's ever had.
His rape accusations are top of the line.
Okay. Besides that, once again, I love the word besides. I think that's my favorite word.
Yeah, maybe.
Besides the point. Big Ben, in my opinion, is a front runner for the NFL MVP. 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Whoa. Don't even talk. Wait, what did you just say?
Big Ben's having his best year yet.
And what was the main
I'm
point?
not saying he's the MVP, but I'm saying he's a candidate.
He's front runner.
No, in the front runner. That means he's like ahead of like 99.
Aaron Rodgers?
No, I wouldn't say necessarily.
Okay, Matt Ryan?
Not better record.
Matt Ryan?
No. Less the work.
Peyton Manning?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I can't really think of any more.
Yeah, Big Ben's 4th probably.
AP?
Yeah, actually I would say so.
Big Ben ahead?
Yeah, I'd actually say so just because of quarterback. Partial to quarterbacks. Big Ben's having his best year yet.
What are the stats?
I'll give you
Back
credit.
This up?
16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Not a great offensive line. No running game to speak of in the sense of consistency. Just week after week having same guy running behind you.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go for picks, though.
I don't think I realized the year he was having. Oh, wait. Before the picks, real quick. Better start. We'll both pick them real quick. Flacco or Dalton?
Flacco.
Dalton, because Flacco's an asshole.
Okay.
Romo or Freeman?
Freeman.
Romo, because Freeman's an asshole.
Okay.
Fred Jackson or Spiller?
No comment. Fred Jackson blows. CJ Spiller.
Spiller, I agree, even though I love Freddie. Sean Green or Pierre Thomas? The shit house.
Pierre Thomas. I don't even want to do this one. It's such a terrible pick. Let's go to pick 'em. I don't even like that. Those guys disgust me.
I'm going to go with Sean Green.
Big Ten running backs. You disgust me.
Hey, man. All right, pick 'em. Indianapolis at Jacksonville. I'm going to take Indianapolis.
Oh, you're funny.
I'm going to predict the final score as well, but I forgot what it was.
Yes.
So
let's go to Sunday and Monday.
Sunday, first game on the list is the New York Giants at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Giants.
I picked the Giants. I wish I didn't, though. Titans at Miami.
Miami.
Fuck, I don't want to agree, but I agree. Detroit at Minnesota.
You're going to agree again, Detroit.
Damn it. I wanted to pick Detroit and be on my own, but you fucking picked them.
You hate the Vikings, and I hate Detroit, but that's beside the point.
Buffalo
15 times using
Buffalo at New England. This will be hard.
Yeah, okay. Next.
All right.
I won't be surprised if the final score is 45-3.
Yeah, we both picked Buffalo. Atlanta at New Orleans.
Upset alert, New Orleans.
What? You're taking my picks, man.
There'll be one there.
I hate Atlanta, so it's hard to pick them.
We will agree.
I'm picking Atlanta.
Okay, that's fine.
But in real life, I'm not.
Okay.
Just for the sake of not picking the same shit as you.
Okay.
San Diego at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. I don't care for either of these teams.
I'll actually go for San Diego here,
Okay.
not just to pick against you. I was thinking about it for a little bit. I just think, I don't know. It's at Tampa Bay. I don't know. San Diego.
Okay.
Denver, Carolina.
Next.
Denver. All right, yeah, I'll take Denver. Oakland at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
As well. Jets at Seattle.
I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going to go pick the Jets. I'm not a Jets fan, but I'll pick them. Why not? I mean, they're going west, and that's
I'll
a
take
stupid
Seattle,
thing.
even though I hate Seattle for good reason.
Yeah, I guess so. By the way, pick up Golden Tate. By the way, Golden Tate is like 5% owned in leagues. However, I think he's a good option. He gets wide. The refs give him touchdowns, so.
Refs are fans of Golden Tate.
Dallas, Philly next.
Yeah, what the hell? Why? What do you? What?
Because I think that's besides the Bears game. That's a huge game, and I honestly, I don't buy into this Eagles team. I don't buy much into the Cowboys, but for the sake of keeping your season alive, I'm not trust. I'm actually. I hate doing this. I don't like picking them, but I think Dallas will win the game.
I agree. I do.
What's the other? What's the other one?
St. Louis at San Fran.
San Fran.
San Fran. And Sunday night, Houston at Chicago.
I think they're the best team in football, and I will say that until they show otherwise. The Chicago Bears are the best team in football, and they are beating the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans, I'll be taking.
And then obviously the Monday night game.
Pick, but
yeah, it's a homer pick by me too. But I'll go final score 28-23. No, 24 to 20. I don't know. It's gonna be a touchdown game.
Chris Bourbon.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing Chris Berman. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Steelers are winning that game big. I mean, that's not even going to be worth watching. If it is worth watching, I'll watch, but...
You won't know till Matt
You won't know till it
racked
happens.
up the yards. And on the bye weeks, we've got Cleveland, Green Bay, Arizona, and Washington. It's a sad week for bye weeks.
Well,
one of the
no
best,
one wants to watch Cleveland.
Actually, it's a pretty good week for bye weeks. Well, Cleveland, Arizona, who cares? Green Bay and Washington are pretty interesting.
Needless to say, if you have Aaron Rodgers on your team, you cannot play him this week. If you have RG3 on your team, you cannot play him. Wow.
Probably should have talked about that more.
You probably should have talked about that more for your case.
Wow. Those are my two quarterbacks on one team.
I think you should pick up Ryan Tannehill.
Who am I going to drop? Damn. I need to pay.
I heard Joe Flacco's out there.
Joe Flacco. I wish he was out there. Not that. No, I don't. Fuck Joe Flacco. It's fuck. I just hate him. He's a fucker. He thinks he grows a nice like goatee. No, he doesn't. Fuck Joe Flacco.
You would know. You're an expert on goatee growth.
Yeah,
By the way, my how do you think my beard is so far? My stubble.
It's actually pretty solid, man.
It's not Tone Tonic level yet. I mean, that's a man's beard right there. But he probably hasn't shaved in a year.
All right. Well, on that,
you got a nice little poof, man. You got like
No Shave November. I hope you're participating.
I know you actually groom it well. I'll give you.
I hope you're all participating in No Shave November. All 3 of you,
listeners.
And,
maybe one girl in there. I hope you're not shaving your legs. Just kidding. That's disgusting.
No, I hope you're growing them. And
tell all the ladies I got the lightning bolts pointing at my wiener.
You can tell him. He doesn't want to. He's got lightning bolts pointing to his wiener. That's, once again, off topic, but we love our producer, Tony. We want to thank our listeners. The small group of them. Like, they're a cult. Essentially, we are going to have a cult following, and they will worship the ground we walk on, and I will make them drink antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
You're going to kill him.
I don't... that's the whole point of a cult, man.
Antifreeze happens to be our sponsor today.
It is.
We'd like to thank them a lot because we couldn't do this without them.
No, we couldn't do that. It costs
a lot of money to do.
I'd also like to thank Coors Light for other reasons.
Yeah, Coors Light's another sponsor. I forgot. Coors Light was a major sponsor today.
Yes, they were.
It,
it enhanced the performance.
Some people would say, some people are against performance-enhancing drugs. And I just think, like when it comes to podcasting, who really cares? I'll dose up, I'll shoot it up.
You'll shoot it up.
I'll just, whatever will make it better for the sake of humanity.
That doesn't make any sense. Once again, Coors Light.
You can thank Coors Light.
You can thank Coors Light. Looking forward to the weekend of games. The games that are on the local Chicago affiliates, I believe, probably be a divisional game, Detroit, Minnesota. Imagine some CBS game, probably the Giants because they love showing Eli. No, since they're in Cincinnati, so it'd be on Fox. CBS game, probably New England because they love showing Tom Brady.
CBS at 1. Here's the 2 games. Here's the games at 1. Tennessee, Miami.
Well, it's
Buffalo, New England.
Nah, showing Tennessee. They're
San
showing
Diego,
Buffalo, New England.
Yeah, that's probably what
I can almost guarantee you that. And Dallas, Philly will be the Joe Buck.
I feel like the Bills are on.
By the way, Joe
often.
Buck's pretty funny. You read his Deadspin stuff; it's pretty good.
What? Joe Buck's funny?
Yeah, I think he's actually pretty funny. He's sarcastic. He's witty.
He is.
He makes fun of the haters.
When there's like an 80-yard game-winning touchdown, he's like, "Oh, he caught the ball, touchdown!"
Romo over the middle, pass is caught by Witten. That's going to be a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten. He always does that thing. Or in baseball, He's like, back at the wall. He always says that. Even they're not near the wall. It could be like a ground ball. It's like, back at the wall. But
Joe Buck is the most boring guy in sports. I think he's a good announcer, but he's boring.
Jim Nantz is pretty boring.
Gus Johnson is where the magic happens.
Yeah, but Gus Johnson always broadcasts the shittiest games. You always want to.
But the magic happens
Cleveland
in
Buffalo
those
games. Or I know there's magic in Cleveland Buffalo games apparently. But
anything, Gus Johnson? Just watch. I don't even. Does he even do NFL anymore? No,
I don't know what he does. He does college, but
sad.
We want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank anyone who's listening to us. It's been a long podcast.
We've got one sponsor. We have a commercial at the end, and
we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, we'll be doing this again next week. Thanks a lot. There is also, apparently as of right now, there's 19 tickets available for the Indianapolis at Jacksonville game. So
you better get on those.
You better get on those
really quick.
Yeah, they're gonna sell out.
They're gonna go,
and it's gonna be good
crazy.
Game.
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. I predict Andrew Luck has 2 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, bold prediction.
Very bold. All right.
Sorry for getting this so late.
Deep, hard thoughts.
Deep,
hard
thoughts. Good night, guys.